that SB003 has been postponed for the time being from the House Judiciary Committee. It was scheduled for March 4th, but now it is not. Now, I want to clear up a couple of things. There's some issues going around saying, you have to get a FOID card in Colorado. It's not a FOID card when it comes to, let's say, in comparison to Illinois. Here's the order in which, if this passes and the governor signs it, the order in which you would have to do the task to exercise your right with one of these specified semi-automatics is you would have to get an eligibility card first. It says it plain as day in the bill. And then after your eligibility card, then you can take either the 4-hour class or the 12-hour class, depending on if you have a hunter safety card or not. And with that said, it's not a FOID card, right? It's a eligibility card, which is completely unconstitutional. Well, the FOID card is unconstitutional as well, but there's some misinformation, I think, going around with some very prominent and very awesome 2A people. I just want to try to clarify the record here, is that you have to get, if this thing passes, you have to get the eligibility card first. Then you can take the 4-hour or the 12-hour course, the basic or the extended course, respectively. And then you can go and purchase the specified semi-automatic in accordance with this bill. All of it's unconstitutional. All of it is, all of it puts a burden on the law-abiding citizen to exercise their rights with a commonly owned firearm, such as an AR-15 or AK-47 or any semi-automatic firearm with a detachable magazine. So it's good news that it's been postponed from the House committee, the Judiciary Committee there in the House. That's good news. That might signal they don't have any votes, or the votes required to pass this. It might signal something else. In either case, it's really good news. If we can just keep kicking this can down the road, there's only so many days for the legislative season. I think it's 120 days. And that ends, I think, the second week of May 10th, I believe. So if we can get there, then they don't get to hear it, and it doesn't get passed, all these other things. So it's good for a lot of reasons, but I need to clarify that you have to do, if this thing does pass, there are certain steps you're going to have to take, and that is get your eligibility card, which requires fingerprints at the sheriff's office. And then after you have that card, then you can take classes, either the 4-hour or the 12-hour class. That's the basic and the extended set firearm safety course, respectively. And then you can go buy one of these specified semi-automatics that they name in the bill. But the thing is that your concealed carry course, which is 8 hours, doesn't even count towards the training requirements, right? So if you want to, let's say you want to get your concealed carry permit here in Colorado, right, which I think is unconstitutional as well, but you would still have to take an 8-hour class. Then you would have to pass a test, an open book test, and then you would have to pass an accuracy test to get your concealed carry permit, and that has to be from a verified instructor from a county in Colorado, okay, a county sheriff in Colorado, and that doesn't even count towards your 4-hour or your 12-hour firearm safety courses. It's pretty ridiculous. They just want to make things harder and harder and harder and harder for people to exercise their right, whether it's with a pistol or a knife or an AR-15 or with your fist. They don't want anybody defending themselves, and they'll claim that, you're taking the law into your own hands. Well, we've all heard the saying, my body, my choice. Well, if somebody's going to attack me and it's going to be an imminent threat on my life, well, I have the God-given right to protect myself with whatever means necessary. That might be a pencil. It could be a knife. It could be my fist, my feet. It could be my keys, whatever the case may be. But the ultimate tool to do that is a firearm, 100%. So, anyway, I'm going to stop running my suck. I just needed to throw that information out there for you, because it is good news. We're not out of the hot seat yet, of course. And then, oh, by the way, even if it doesn't pass this year, it's going to come next year in some way, shape, or form. So, join FBC, or join Rocky Mountain Gun Owners, join whatever organization you think is going to do the best to defend our Second Amendment right, because they are 100%, especially here in Colorado, they are going after it hard, with the legislations from last year, the attempts thereof, with the attempts this year. Who knows what's going to happen next year if we don't win more seats in the House and the Senate next year. And what by I mean Second Amendment advocates, not necessarily Democrat or Republican. You could be a Democrat, you could have a D behind your name, and if you're like, I'm a staunch Second Amendment supporter, I don't believe we should infringe on Second Amendment rights, I would applaud you. I'd be like, oh, great, man. We might disagree on a lot of other things, but the Second Amendment might not be one of those. And I will walk hand in hand with you and go, hey, man, we're gonna defend our right to free speech, to firearms, unreasonable search and seizures, all of the Bill of Rights, all of them. So, and that's what we should be, but we're not. And especially here in Colorado, which is unfortunate, because it's a great state, I think, to be in. There's so many things to do here. There's so many different types of people here. And I think if we can convince the left that firearms are not the problem, then that would be awesome. Then we can actually start talking about what the problem is. You're going to eligibility card first, then you take your firearms courses, then after you pass those firearms courses, you can purchase a firearm. Oh, by the way, when you do purchase that firearm, there'll be another background check, and you'll have to wait another 3 days just to receive the firearm. So they're making it extremely difficult. It's going to be an affluent right, not an American right, here soon in Colorado, if this thing gets passed. So I said I was going to stop running my suck, so I'm going to stop running my suck now. Anyway, you guys have a great day.